That's Protégé and Big 45, and you're listening to Soho Radio. My name's Georgie Rogers, and it's time to welcome my guest, Greentea Peng. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming in. Obviously, the new record is out in the world. Tell them it's sunny.
Yes, tell them it's sunny, and it is.
And it's sunny
and
today.
It is.
I know. You timed the release really well with just the fact that like we've kind of made it through the long, hard winter, and it's getting a bit nicer now.
Come out on the equinox, isn't it? It was like quite divine timing. Yeah. Always seems to work out that way.
Yeah. How's it been? I guess Man-Made, your record before that, your like studio album before that, came out in 2021, which was a bit of a weird time, like half in, half out of like COVID stuff. So how's this release been? Has it felt really amazing putting this record out?
Yeah, it's felt really fun, you know. It's always quite an emotional fleet, like putting out a record. It's almost like giving birth to a child, you know, like opening it up for interpretation. And yeah, it's interesting. I always get like a little bit moody around putting out a project, really. I'm not like necessarily like mad celebrating in a way. It's strange. I'm a bit of a moody person, I guess. So it's been like mixed emotions. But I'm definitely grateful to just being like taking part in the dance, and I'm grateful, man. I am.
There must be like a mix of kind of like nerves, and obviously like you've been a lot more like inward looking on this album. It's like a really personal record.
Yeah,
so
it's
was
quite
there,
a personal record, sure.
Was there an element of that, of just kind of like,
it's a sensitive time. Yeah, it always is, like sharing anything with the collective, do you know what I mean? Like when you're making honest music, it's like opening yourself up. It's like, I guess, a vulnerable space to be in a way. But yeah, it's exciting. It's always fun. I can't wait to tour it.
Yeah.
That's where it's like really gonna come alive, you know, the tour. So that's what we're preparing for now, myself and the band. Fun times.
Some of these tracks on this record are definitely made for your live show. I think.
It's translating really well, actually.
Yeah.
Obviously the first album was made like with the band, like from inception. This album wasn't really like that, so I was a bit not worried, but I was intrigued like how it was gonna translate. But it's going really well, actually, and it's really bringing it to life for the Sing Sing family. So
yeah. At what point we had the Man-Made in 2021, as I said, but then there was a mixtape.
Yeah, I dropped the mixtape the same week I gave birth to my daughter. It was like 2 births in 1 week. Yeah, so I feel like that tied me over a little bit. That was kind of like the length of an album, to be honest. The mixtape.
It was pretty much a record. Yeah. And then at what point did you start working on this one? Because then you had your kids. So was there like a bit of a break, or how did this record? At what point did you start like putting it together and writing it and stuff?
You know what? Some of the songs, I'm trying to think. My memory, everything kind of blurs into one. I don't think there was that much of a gap, really. I mean, I took a year off performing after I had my daughter, but I was writing throughout that period. So I think TARDIS was probably the first song that was written on the project, and that was probably spring 23, I want to say. So yeah, it's been a long time still in the making. Like, it's taken a couple of years, you know. There wasn't that much. I'm always writing, so yeah.
Yeah, did it start very much kind of like diary entries, and then you got in the studio and sort of fleshed it out from there?
Yeah, it always starts with me kind of like one-liners. Like, I'll get like one line just stuck in my head, like, and I might not have a verse for that line for a month or two, but I'll write down the line, and then all of a sudden it will just come back to me in the moment when I hear instrument or something like that. And it all starts with one line with me. I've got it full of one-liners.
Yeah. And did you feel like this album kind of flowed? Like, did it come together quite, like, I hate the word organically, but like...
No, but it did. Yeah. I love that word. Like, I think like the whole thing has been organic from the start with me, and I feel like it's important. I'm not good at forcing things. When I try and force things, they don't normally come into fruition, so I've learned to kind of let things happen naturally, even if that takes a while, you know. So yeah, the project did come around organically. It wasn't as like you know, like Man-Made was completely different. Like, we just went, I was like, decided, right, I want to make an album we would go into the woods and lock ourselves in a house for a month, and like no one's leaving, and do you know what I mean? It was like boom. This was like, you know, I got a kid, like I'm a mum, I'm living in a different country, I'm traveling back and forth, I'm working with different producers, so it was a lot more like sporadic, but still smooth at the same time, you know what I mean? So it was different. It was a very different process, but I love the album, I love the record.
Yeah.
I do. I feel like it's a nice evolution from Man-Made.
Definitely. And can you talk a little bit about what motherhood kind of did for, I don't know, it's such a crazy thing, isn't it? I mean, just the idea still baffles me when I see my friends have kids. It's like that you grew like a spinal cord and nerves and a brain in your, you know, in your body, and then give life to this human.
Mashallah, it's a blessing. It really is. It's I mean, it's certainly like made me a lot more courageous, but also like helped me step into my power. Like makes you feel very powerful. Like I think I had an interesting relationship with femininity and my femininity before, and like it really kind of transformed that for me. It made me feel powerful and a lot more confident and just self-assured. I think that's kind of translated into the record, you know, like my willingness to kind of explore different aspects of my personality, different sounds, you know, whereas before I might think like, oh, like I've started like this, so maybe I should stick like this, you know. I've realised there's kind of no rules, and it's definitely made me a lot more courageous. Yeah.
I read as well that you played quite a lot of bass on it, and you got a lot more involved in the production process of this record.
Yeah, I was. Like I played bass in TARDIS, and a couple of other records as well, just like a little bit of synth, a little bit of, just a little bit more involved. You know, and my next project that I'm already thinking about is like I wanna produce that. Like I wanna be way more heavily involved in the production of that. Just the experimentation is what I love about music, you know. And I think I'm really good at like holding myself back. And if I'm not like excellent at something straight away, then I'll just like be like, I'm not gonna try. And I think that having a child has kind of transformed that part of my brain as well. It's like that willingness to just get involved and to try new things and to experiment, you know. Because having a kid is like the maddest science experiment, bro. It's crazy.
And just like throwing yourself in and just kind of learn, because it's all a learning thing, isn't it? And then with the next record you'll be even more confident with the production side of things.
Exactly.
And also like I feel like with your music it's always been so like authentically your vision, and like it's so you. Like, you can't compare you to, you know, anyone. It's like, so I think going through like that's just gives you even more ownership on like.
Thank you. That's a big compliment. I'll take that. Thanks.
It's true. What were the studio sessions like then? Were they lots of fun? Because you worked with a few kind of people that you've worked with before.
I think the only new person I worked with on this record was Busy Twist, who's someone like I've been listening to his music for time. Like I remember when I've been listening to his music for time. So, and I never really knew how we could make something happen, and we ended up just chatting on Gram, and I was like, well, let's just try it out. And he produced the What Do You Mean tune, which is such a weird tune. I love it. So he's kind of the only new collaborator on the project. Everyone else is like, you know, like Nat Powers, Earbuds, who I've been working with since like the beginning of my career. You know, he produced like Moonchild, Samo, who used to be part of Earbuds, Declan, who is the wizard behind it. Like he's the executive producer of the whole project. So the studio sessions were great. They're always very comfortable. We're all like friends. Do you know what I mean? That's how I love to work. I don't work so well getting in the studio with someone like I've never met before. I don't already have a rapport with. Like I have to be super comfortable, and that's what works best for me. So it was fun. It's been a fun process.
Yeah. Let's play Stone's Throw. Can you tell me? I mean, this track is.
I love this track.
Absolutely amazing.
Heartbreak track for the club.
Yeah, for the club. Yeah, totally. Crying on the dance floor.
Yeah, man.
And I feel like on this record as well, your voice just sounds unreal on this. Like when you really sing it, it's like really
Thank
beautiful.
you. My voice kind of annoys me on this record, but
does it?
A little bit. There's parts of it I'm like, but it's fine. No, I love the song. Well,
as a listener, it's very lovely on the ears. Like,
Thank you.
It sounds wicked.
Thank you.
And the production's wicked. So let's play it, and then afterwards you can tell me a little about any stories of it.
All right, sweet.
Okay, so this is Greentea Peng and Stone's Throw from the new album, Tell Them It's Sunny. So that's Stone's Throw. It's by Greentea Peng, who is my live guest on the show this week. So yeah, tell me about Stone's Throw. Was there anything that kind of like any little stories of making that, or?
That was, so we made that in Earbud Studio in West Ham. Mm-hmm. Cameron was in the room for that one. I can't remember his second name. Cameron's second name? Cameron
with V. McV.
Cameron McVie.
Yeah.
Oh wait, who's he? Is he Nena's husband? Yeah.
Great. Like, yeah, he was in the room. And we was like, I don't know, it was one of those days. We had the session in, but there wasn't necessarily, like, normally I go to the studio and I've got something in my head, you know, like, I'm like, I need to get this out. But, like, there wasn't really anything that day. We just started, like, messing around. And I actually had, is it that Maloko tune?
Yeah, it was a Maloko tune.
You're the first thing and the last thing on my mind. I had that song in my head, like, on the way there. And I was, like, vibes into that song. I think that song kind of, like, inspired it. I was, like, I don't know, it was interesting. It was an interesting session. I couldn't get that song out of my head. I don't know if you hear any similarities. Like,
now you mention it, like, not really,
but there was kind of like a little tonal, like, so big up Maloko on that one. And once the first line was there, the whole song, like, kind of came pouring. But I don't like necessarily write love songs like much, you know what I mean? This was like the first project since, like, maybe Sensi where I've, like, written about love. So I was like, oh, what is this? Strange, like, territory I'm entering into again. Love songs. But yeah, kind of like not too long, like, broken up with, like, my partner and stuff. So it was kind of like on the cards, you know. So yeah, it was an interesting little session, that one. I like what came out of it though. Like, at first I was like, is this song super commercial, dare I say it? I'm like, this is like some bait tune, but no, I really like it. I really like Stone's Throw. It sounds buff live as well.
I bet.
I think as well, it's like a lot of people can relate in it to the heartbreak tunes.
Absolutely. always. It's like what's so, like, great about music. Like, if you're in that, you know, and then hearing someone else kind of relay.
It's the most relatable subject, isn't it? I feel like Man Made was, like, a very political and, like, you know, like, harder for, like, people to maybe relate to, but, like, this song definitely is relatable. I'm, like, in my Adele era, you know.
What about the visuals? Actually, funny story. I was driving down Bethnal Green Road. Actually, I'm thinking of the visuals for One Foot here, but I was driving down Bethnal Green Road, and then I was like, oh, they're shooting a music video. I was like, who's that? And then I looked to my right, and it was you.
It was me. Doing those content things, like, under the bridge?
Yeah, you're under the bridge in the middle of the road on the pavement.
Yeah,
bit.
Literally. That was, and you know, everything was like, it was slightly slow motion, that one, so I was, like, literally doing it, like, 10 times as fast as it should have been. It was quite hilarious. Really.
Well, I was quite excited to see it, because then I was like, I wonder if I'll be in. No, I wouldn't. The car wasn't in it. It was a taxi and a van and a bus or something.
It's like under the big 10-foot, like, on the Bethnal Green Road. It was sick.
But it came out amazing. Like, all those visuals looked really great.
I don't enjoy doing visual stuff. I don't like cameras, but yeah, the visuals for Stone's Throw were fun because we shot in Latvia, which was interesting. Okay. So it was super cold.
Yes.
But, like, really fun to shoot somewhere different. It was quite scenic in, like, a very urban kind of way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the visuals. It was the only visual for the album that wasn't in black and white, which I was kind of struggling with at first. I wanted all the videos to be in black and white, but we kept it dark, which I thought was cool and kind of relevant to the tune in a way.
Yeah, it's like a kind of nice contrast to the album title.
It was like nothing that I imagined when I was thinking, like listening to Stone's Throw, like in terms of the visuals. But I let Above Ground, Lucas, who's a G, he did all of the videos for the album, just kind of run with that one. I was like, all right, take it away.
Take it to the bridge. And I want to just ask you a little bit about the track, the end piece. It's like proper, like dark and dubby.
You like that one?
Yeah, I like that one. I like all of the tracks. I like the softer, like more ballad moments. I like the
there's
dubby,
some really
dark,
like
clubby moments.
rocky moments
And
on
there's
there as well.
there's guitar moments.
Yeah, I love the grunge element. I identify with grunge.
Yes. Did you grow up on it? Like, I feel like we're similar age, maybe.
I'm
I don't know.
30. Yeah, I mean, I grew.
I'm older than you. A few years. But did you grow up on on grunge stuff?
I grew up on a lot of different types of music. To be
Yeah.
honest, like I was really lucky in that sense. Like a real eclectic, like taste in music. I had like my mum's taste and my dad's taste and my stepdad, who was like basically, like into metal. So it's like I was really lucky to just be exposed to like all music from a young age, and I think I've really like used that to my advantage. So I love guitar heavy, I love bass heavy, I love dub, I love a bit of everything, and I feel like that you can kind of hear that in this album, like jungle, like it's just a bit of everything. Which is it's good. It's a good testament, like a testimony of myself, because it's like I'm quite an eclectic like individual, lots of different tastes and ideas and beliefs and sounds. So I wanted to hone in on that for this project.
The end piece was giving me like Plastic People vibes.
I love that. It's quite like, in a way, like a depressing tune, but not at the same time. It's like really just like coming to terms with just being like a useless human.
Should we play another track? Talk to me a bit about Green, because I guess this is like thematically, like you talk about like the only way is through. It was you sort of riff off the fact that like if you're in a painful time or whatever, like the only way is kind of through it. Right?
Like that book. And I guess that is the kind of undertone of the whole album. It's like that kind of the notion of like transmutation and just like turning lead into gold, like moving through, like you said, moving through acceptance, surrender. I think that's kind of the undertone of throughout the whole album, and Green really sums that up nicely. I love Green. It's produced by St. Francis Hotel, quite cinematic, this tune. I love Green. I wrote it on my little boat. I almost like died whilst writing it through a leaky fireplace. I was so deep into like the writing, and I was bunning at the time. I was smoking, and before I knew it, like the whole boat was just like bellowing smoke, and I was like, wow, this is really strong. And then I realized that my fireplace was like not sealed properly, like at all. And I had to like vacate the boat, like open all the windows, stand on the like pier, and there was literally like plumes of smoke just like coming out of the boat. I was like, damn. And that's where Green and Raw were actually written on the same night. So I wrote Green, and then I wrote Raw straight after. I was like kind of on one that evening. St. Francis Hotel calls it my Dolly Parton moment.
I love that.
It was very dramatic.
Creating fire.
Yeah, literally in fire. Yeah, it's a dramatic song. It is.
And I love Raw. I played Raw on the show last week. I love that track. It's really beautiful.
I love Raw.
And it is very raw.
It is very raw. Hence the title.
All right. Well, let's play Green, and we'll just kind of like have images of you on this boat as you play it, and we'll chat more with Greentea Peng after this. So that is Greentea Peng and Green from the album Tell Them It's Sunny. It's out in the world now, and Greentea Peng is my guest on the show. Yo. So we got to talk about touring, because you're about to get super busy, aren't you? You've got a UK Europe tour this month and next.
Yes. Oh my God, this month.
Excited? Brixton Academy, yeah.
I know. Yeah, Brixton Academy, 9th of May. No, that's the last.
Is it like no, but is it like a first doing Brixton?
Oh
Academy?
Yeah. First, big deal. I'm anticipating it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's like the mecca of gigs, I guess, isn't it, for London? For me, anyway.
Yeah.
Like for us as a band, it's a big deal. So, 9th of May, and that's the last UK date. Made sure that's the last one.
So that you can go big and have a really, really amazing like after party and enjoy it and just bask in
let's
it.
See, and then there's like we got a week off, and then the European one starts. Big deal. 9th of May, Brixton. Get your ticket if you ain't got it already. I'm gassed. Like the band, it's so exciting to be doing a new show. I feel like I feel like I've been singing the same songs for the last 6 years or so. I don't think I have, but it feels like that. Do you know what I mean? It's so exciting to just like have a brand new show. Obviously got to keep some of the old ones in there.
Yes.
Yeah, the boys
for the fans.
Yeah. I've been trying to exit them, and the boys, they won't let me, to be honest. They're like, no. I'm excited for that. I just need to get the energy up. It's been a busy time. I constantly feel like I'm constantly sick right now. So I need to like just take a little rest, get these rehearsals done, and just like bang out this tour. I'm excited. I come alive on the stage.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, like I think this album is just made for it. Like I think these tracks are gonna be so good live.
I'm already like imagining Brixton. I'm imagining Glastonbury as well. I'm just like, I'm definitely gassed. I can't wait.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you as well about Glastonbury because you played 2022. That was the last one. I'm going this year, but I didn't go for a couple of years. That was the last year that I went.
Yeah.
And you were the first thing I saw because we got there really late.
Okay.
Like the exhaust on my very small, very crap car had fallen off in the Blackwall Tunnel.
Oh. That sounds problematic.
Had a bit of a disaster.
Yeah.
Anyway, got saved by Terry's Autos, wherever he is, on the other side of the Blackwall Tunnel.
Terry.
Yeah. And we had like an afternoon, we had to go for like a beer or whatever. And then eventually he fixed the car and then we were on our way. So you were the first thing I actually saw.
Wow, that's fun.
So I went back to my camera roll because I was like, I remember like that Glastonbury and seeing you on the West Holts.
Yes, so very pregnant.
Yes,
so very,
you were
very pregnant.
Yeah.
Like,
what was
massive.
that gig like? Yeah.
So exhilarating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I literally just like had my pajamas and my Crocs on, and I just threw my dress on. I was like 7 or 8 months pregnant. Like, and I stayed, like I'd been there.
Yeah.
For like the day or 2 days before or something. Like I proper like soldiered it, you know. It's my first Glastonbury. I was exhausted.
Yes.
But I had such a fun show. Such a fun show. I remember reading one of the reviews though, I can't remember who it was. And they were like, Greentea Peng waddled onto the stage. I was like, I was no, it was a good review, but I was just like, allow it.
You're like nearly about to
literally about to pop, but I was just like, imagine how fun like being that baby in there. Like she was like kicking. I was like, this is lit.
She must have loved it.
Yeah.
This time you'll be unburdened. Like you won't have that.
I'll be jumping really around that stage.
Yeah,
I'm excited to play West Holts again. I love West Holts, and this time we got like the sunset gig. It's gonna be perfect for us, you know. Like
that will be so magical if you get a sunny day, even if it's not a sunny day, but like.
Hopefully we'll conjure the sun anyway, you know, like we did last time. You know, we just get that Mr. Sun out and.
Oh, it's so magic. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I will be there. And any other kind of, I guess this year is just going to be about playing this record.
Really getting the record out there. I mean, the Brixton is really like, I'm super excited for Brixton. I'm excited for everything to come, you know, I'm grateful. There's not too much else in the calendar really. I mean, the tour is going to be quite substantial, and in Glastonbury, and then hopefully take a little rest. Let's see. But just always just getting the music, getting the vibes out there.
Yeah. Will you give yourself like a little bit of a break before thinking about another record? Just kind of.
I've planned to take some time off, but knowing me, I mean, let's see. I have an active brain, active personality. You know, I like to keep it moving. So let's see. Like I said, I want to be way more involved in the production side. I've already started messing around. like producing little bits by myself. So yeah, I think it will be a while till the next album, to be honest.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah. Well, it's been so nice to chat to you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
I really love the album. Like, it's a really special record, and so I'm excited for your next year and just playing it and people, you know, connecting with it. So
thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Let's finish on TARDIS.
Yay.
TARDIS Hardest in brackets.
Yes, love this one.
Such a banger. This was like the first thing that you put out there, wasn't it?
This was the opening statement. This was the setting the tone. Yeah, I love this. Probably one of my favorite songs I've ever made, to be honest. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's play it.
Thanks so much, Aria.
Thank you for having me, man.